Hey, Kelvin, how are you?
Good, Mark. How about yourself?
Fair. So, for East Carolina, the challenges for guys like Tristan Newton and Vance Jackson, what they bring on Saturday.
Well, their best player is Newton. Uh, I think he's outstanding. Just watching him last few days, just can't tell you what a great job Joe Dooley's done. That roster, if you go piece by piece, they've got one of the best point guards in the league in Newton. And he hurts you. He can hurt you three different ways. He can score it, he can shoot it, and he can pass it. He's really good. I haven't really seen him until this week. I literally had never not seen East Carolina play this year. But you can see why they're having the year they're having. They had a tough loss. Their last game, but that was a game that they were up 20 on a really, really good UCF team. So just look at their pieces. Jackson Kidd, has 35 against at Cincinnati. Newton's averaging 18. He's had some great games. We played South Carolina in the last 2 years, so we saw the Frank kid play. That's a good get for them. That's a great get. His size guy gives them a center that can play. So when Frank, SEC starter, Jackson, a Big East starter, Newton, he played for anybody. Robinson White, who really, really played well against us last year when they beat us at their place. He played really good. The Suggs kid got hurt. I have no idea if he's playing or not. You just assume he is. And then the Miles kid, the Felton kid off the bench, 14. I think that was his best game. So then they got a freshman Johnson that really rebounds it well. But top to bottom, they just got a good roster. They got good players. People on the outside always look at the name of the team and never focus on the players. East Carolina has good players, and they're capable of beating anybody in this conference. There's a reason why they beat Memphis, and there's a reason why they're up 20 on Central Florida. Neither one of those things are flukes. This team's good. Joe Dooley is a ball coach now. I've known Joe Dooley for a long time. He's passionate, cares. He runs good stuff. He runs good stuff. He's a program builder. And this is the year, they lose the Gardner kid, and all he did was silently build a great roster. So I'm really, really impressed with East Carolina.
Kelvin, how beneficial will it be for you once you get through this game? You're going to have a week off after all you guys have been through.
Yeah, no, it's the bye weeks comes at a good time for us, but I'm focused on practice today and get ready for East Carolina.
We'll go to Greg Bailey with KTRK. Greg, please go ahead with your question for Coach.
Kelvin, as you guys have adjusted to all these injuries, I've been really impressed with the way that your team continues to not just share the basketball, but identify when your scores are available, whether it's inside or outside. What do you think of the job you guys have done with that as you've juggled personnel? Is that just a constant within your basketball program?
Well, every team we had is different because our best player's been different. When Marcus was here, he was our best player. So we had to play through him a lot. Offense isn't an equal opportunity, or shooting is not an equal opportunity position. Best player should take most of the shots, not all of them, but you play through the best player. We're playing a lot more through Josh now because teams are sending either a guard down to dig on him or a big to go trap him. Ball movement becomes a premium. Josh Josh is learning to play out of double teams. And then once the ball comes out, what do you do? What's the goal? What's the plan? What's your strategy? And that's where spacing becomes important. But ball movement, we're more of a ball movement team than we are an attack team, I think. We've had guys in the past that can attack off a closeout, whereas this team is probably more of a ball movement team. You know, Kyler's not a blazer. You know, he's not going to trick you. He is what he is. Tajay's kind of a flip of a coin. You know, just about every play he makes, somebody's going to be happy. It's either going to be me or the other coach. Ramon, you know, is a freshman that's struggling a little bit with confidence. Jamal with his shooting. I mean, we have issues. You know, we're not a great team. You know, every game we play, the other team can win. You know, it's just, you know, our margin of error has just become so small. But we have a plan. You know, our kids do a good job of executing it. There are certain things we have to be really good at on game night, and we try to practice those things so they become habits.
We'll go to Adam Winkler with KTRK. Adam, go ahead with your question for Coach, please.
Kelvin, we hear and read so much about the culture that you've built in the program and the grit. Obviously, going into that, I would imagine is making your home arena as tough a place to play in the country. And I'm not going to mention the number because I don't want to accuse of jinxing anything. But how much has gone into making your home court as tough as any home court in the country, and how much belief do you guys have when you go and take it?
You know, Adam, of all the things we've accomplished during our home court, I don't think any of it includes the Fertitta Center. You know, people forget we won 19 consecutive games on another school's home arena. You know, and the crowds over there at best were sporadic or spotty. You know, whether our fans or places packed or not, we try to win the game. You know, there's a lot better coaches than me that get fired that have much better facilities than we do. The facilities don't win games. People do. People create within your organization. You create. You give your confidence comes from your preparation and things that you emphasize. For instance, the last game we played, you know, I noticed the crowd sometime, but the thing that I've been impressed with, like the other night, was our students being back. They made a difference. I'll tell you what was a great crowd was that Texas State game. You know, that was a great crowd. You know, you go all the way back to opening night against Oregon. You know, we're up 20 in the first half. You better believe that crowd was our juice, man. We were down 15 to LSU, come back and win. That crowd, no win without the crowd. And now that we're in the situation we're in with our probably our two most talented players, certainly our best player, Marcus, and then Tremont, you know, we don't get to the Final Four without that kid. I still remember the play he made against Rutgers. You don't make that play, we lose that game. That's just reality. But without those two guys, and you know, our depth issues are what they are. We need our crowd now more than ever. You know, we need to be there. The game starts at 7. We need you in the seats at 7 o'clock. You know, those first 5 minutes of the game, you can make a difference. But I think our fans appreciate our kids' effort. I think you know, this is a bootstrap city. You know, people looking in, it's a big city with all the glitz and glamour, but I don't think that's what Houston is. I think Houston is a blue collar town. Right? This town was founded on people that tried and failed and kept trying until they made it. And I think that reflects our program, and I think that reflects our fan base.
Thank you, Adam. We'll go to Joseph Duarte from the Houston Chronicle. Joseph, please go ahead.
Good morning, Kelvin.
Good morning, Joseph.
No, I wanted to ask, as you navigate the roster, and I know he doesn't necessarily fit in the guards rotation, but with Robbie, what would you like to sort of accomplish in terms of getting minutes or you know, being a freshman, what you'd like to see, or is there an opportunity there for when you can use him and sort of, maybe get his feet wet a little bit his first year?
The freshman that plays the best every day in practice is not Ramon. It's Javier Francis. He's the one you should be asking the question about. He's a good player. You see what he does when he gets in games, right?
Right.
But he plays behind Josh and he plays behind Reggie, so his opportunities are not there. Robbie's a good player, but he's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none type guy. And what we need is a guard, not someone that's adjusting to be a guard. We don't need to put our top three quarterbacks go down and we got a wide receiver that can throw it 80 yards. Well, that doesn't mean he's going to be able to play quarterback. We need somebody who knows how to take a snap from center. He can throw a 5-yard out or make a read. That's Robbie's never done that. He's a kind of just a good player. But I don't coach a certain player. I don't look for anything from anybody. I just coach our team. And our top 4 guards right now are the 4 guards we're playing. As we move on down the road, we need those 4 guys to continue to develop. We've got 4 post guys. J1 and Reggie come off the bench. They've kind of solidified their roles. I think Robbie probably fits more behind J1 and Fabian with his skill set than he does as a guard. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. I'd like to know I have a feel for him since I recruited him and see him every day. But we're gonna play the guys that we think can help us win. And if that's Robbie, then he'll be in there.
Kelvin, also just clear this, not clear it up, but just to ask, is there any chance on the guys that are out that either one of them could return late this year? Say postseason time. Marcus, for instance.
No, I haven't even thought about that. Okay. The guys are definitely out the whole year. Emmanuel's out. He's not going to play this year, obviously. He had a catastrophic injury on his leg. He broke his leg, ruptured ligaments and tendons in his ankle. He can't even go 5-on-5 live. He does all the non-contact stuff with us, but he can't have any contact. So he's a definite scratch. Marcus is a definite scratch, and so is Tremont. Now, if I had those 3 guys, it'd be pretty good. Those 3 guys are all good players, but no, we're going to finish the year with Jamal. Well, knock on wood. Knock on wood. I hope to finish the year with these 4 guards, but it's tenuous. That's why we've got to figure a way to get better in the second halves of games. I don't like the way we finish games here in league play, but I'm not sure what we can do about it. Rest guys earlier. There's a lot of things that I'm having to juggle right now with our guards, but we're relying on our front line a lot, and Kyler's been able to handle point guard duties with Jamal being out, and that's been a help because the guy that did all that was Marcus. Marcus was our starting point guard when the season started. Then we moved Jamal in, and Marcus became the backup point guard. So without Jamal or Marcus the other night, Kyler had to play point guard. But that's, I'm not doing anything unique. All coaches have to go through this. We all deal with injuries. We've all had to deal with COVID. So, it's just, being a fireman, you just put out fires, man. try to catch them when they're brush fire so they don't become forest fires. So that's for sure.
Kelvin, is it too early yet on to kind of know whether or not the Cincinnati game might get rescheduled or?
No, it has been rescheduled. Right now, I think the date is going to be March the 1st, Joseph. I think that's the date. I don't like to go, I don't like the conference and the administrations working with that stuff. I think the head coaches should do all the scheduling. That way you cut out the middleman. So I picked up the phone and called Wes, and we went back and forth 3 or 4 times. And Wes is the head coach in Cincinnati. He has to do what's best for his program. And I'm the head coach in Houston. I have to do what's best for our program. Sometimes you can schedule a loss just because of having to reschedule. And we may have done that, but I'm not going to not play that game. And we just have to stick it in. I think it's at a place where we have to play 4 games in 7 days. That's not very smart, is it? But you either do that or not play it. And I'd rather play. If we win, that's great. And if we lose a game because of it, well, then that's just the way it goes. Losing ain't the worst thing in the world can happen to you. We've lost games around here before. We're going to lose some more too. That's just the way it is. You need to play your games. These kids came here to play basketball games. You don't say, well, I don't want to schedule it here because we may lose this game. I don't care about that. Can't be afraid to lose, but you also have to have the courage to win too.